Morning, fellow creators. Ben here from Cinder Studios. Yogurt today instead of orange juice. So, last week's goal was to make an updated color wheel video, which did not happen because I got, I did this. I was trying to be a little more freeform with it, not actually make the circles. I was like, wow, this looks terrible. So I scrapped that project. Then I was like, well, I want to do like something Zelda-y for this light switch cover for the office. I got about halfway through it, and I was like, wow, this also looks unbelievably terrible. So I sanded it down, and I didn't make that video either. So this week, I'm back to a vlog again. But I do have some stuff to talk about. I would like to share some things that are going on and tips and try to make this artistically entertaining. So I think I'll start with this box, which comes from an email exchange I had with the Golden Acrylics product team. So I reached out finally regarding the tips of a couple of my high flow bottles, which have so much dried paint in them they're basically unusable. So I've literally just been taking the whole top off in order to use the paint. Expressed my concerns. I'm like, these are kind of old at this point. They've been sitting on my shelf a while. I don't know if this is a problem for other people. Is it a formulation with the paint that it clogs into the nozzles easier? Because I've got other ones that don't have as much of a problem. Or is it just a practice thing on my part? And it's, chances are it's probably just how I use them. Which isn't to say most effectively, but they're like, hey, we'll just send you some replacement caps. So I'm like, oh, cool. In addition to documenting the problem, and gave them the batch codes on the bottom for their records. Like, hey, just, send us your address and whatever, and we'll just, send you some new ones for free. And I'm like, neat. So I can't imagine there's more than, oh, look, there is more than 2 in there. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure the nozzles have changed since I bought the original tubes. I can tell that immediately because these ones are clear, and these ones were white originally. I don't know if that's just a difference in the plastic, but hey, I got six brand new caps on for these, so I can replace them. That's really awesome. So I'm gonna do that now. Foil things on the bottom of that. I'm glad I saw that. Otherwise, I'd been hella confused. Hey, look, that's got a foil ring on it too that I never took off. All right, so that's the old one. I mean, it's not like I can't clean them. There it is. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to soak them in some rubbing alcohol later and clean the other ones out. But yeah, now that I have a clean, easily applicatable top again, that's better. Yeah, the red one, the Alizarin Crimson one, is really, really gummed up. So my goal today is at least not quite, probably not going to be able to actually finish it, but finish the big landscapey piece that I've been doing for the Splatter Show. So I should really start calling it its own name, Splatter Worlds, opening in June. I'm actually having a meeting with the gallery in 2 weeks. It's the end of the month, whatever, it's a week and a half, whatever it ends up being. To just further discuss the show, since it is starting to come up a little bit more now. I took a bunch of promotional shots, I guess you could say. I set my camera up on set it up on the tripod and put it on continuous mode, continuous shutter mode, and I was able to just go boom, 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 boom as I was pouring some new ones out. And those sequences are really fun. And I just sent them to the gallery in a zip folder on Drive, and I'm like, here, you can edit these as much as you want, but like, here's a good set of these to use for promotionals. And that was good. But now I have a bunch of these other ones that I've been drawing around the corner of the room. Oh, I was working on this other vertical one with these 3 stone things and a light river and a big bridge. That piece, I did not finish. And I decided I'm not going to finish it because I just felt it wasn't up to snuff with the rest of the pieces for this show. So I sanded it down, gessoed it black, sliced it a little bit, and turned it into this. So this is probably going to be the vertical one, if I keep it vertical. I'm still debating on whether or not to even do a vertical one, because then I'm thinking, like, what about like a vertical diptych or something? This is interesting because it has a whole separate splat over here. I didn't have enough paint, and I did a pre-mix in a pint of ice cream, empty pint of ice cream, and yeah. So I ended up with some, and I've been playing with the different mixes now. So this one is gesso primarily, gesso, and I actually use some of the high flows to tint it and thin it. And I've noticed that gesso splatters are way more of a spray. You can brushes and things are in the way down here, but you get way more of that finer spray on those. And I don't know where I'm going to put this. And then I did a couple of batches with tinted latex paint. And the latex paint, and I've noticed this since the beginning. Now, again, I'm experimenting with off colors and stuff like that. But the latex has a lot more of a resinous string to it, which I think I actually prefer. The big one I'm doing was with the blue was a gesso mix. But yeah, I really love the more stringiness you get out of a thin latex paint. So I really like this. This one could also work vertically, probably this way, because I got a lot more space here, and then it'll like land up to sky or something like that. There's not a uniform bridge between the two, unfortunately, so I wouldn't really be able to do that as two of the same piece. But again, this one has a lot of potential both horizontally and vertically. And again, it's all that resinous splatter, which I really, really like. And the last one is smaller on a thing that I stained blue originally. And this was a little bit of that PVA paint, and this is the stuff that cracks like crazy. So I'm sure I'll do something with this. I'll have to fill in the cracks as before. But this will be a good transition piece from that bigger one into something a little smaller. And something I noticed too, and I hate to have only figured this out pretty late in the game, but as much as the bare wood is nice, having a colored back and then building on top of that's really good. So I was doing then a white back with a black splatter. The problem with the black splatter is that it kind of limits you to night scenes and like space stuff a little bit. At least for me it does. So I actually found that before the black background and then a white splatter lends itself better to contrast and composition. I just wish I would have figured that out a lot earlier in this series. Alright, so I'm going to set you guys up on a time lapse for this. Because I really just want to work on this and plug it away. And I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at with this. But I know more effectively where I need to do stuff, and more specifically right now to start is going to be messing with the bridge and getting that finalized, and then probably starting to drop in my water lines. And I think once I do that, the piece will start to really kind of feel a lot more together, so I can just dive into some more of the details with the rocks and fleshing out this area and everything like that. So feeling pretty good about all that. I would say I'm still probably maybe like the 60% mark for this piece. There's a lot of smaller detailing I need to work with, but yeah, I'm just gonna work on this, and I guess this will be something between a vlog and a time lapse video. But yeah, I've been so focused on plugging away for pieces for the show that I'm really not thinking about much else. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on into this. Okay, so this is really close now. Yeah, that extra layer with the grass and sticking with the fan brush really seemed to help. I kind of just pushed it around a little bit more in this area, and then just got bigger and bigger with more taps with it. Dropped in the figure and the sign, figure and the sign. And at this point, I'm grabbing 3 colors. The Titan Buff, which I've really been using the whole time. Belligerent Crimson Hue. Pretty sparingly, I'm going to be warming up some shadows and tossing that in very late. And mostly this is the Smalt Blue, or the Smalt Hue, it's still blue, Smalt Hue layer. So all of the underlying last-minute shadows, I'm going to put a little bit more into this one, and based on perspective and where this sits, the top of this rock should actually kind of arc in a little bit as well for that shadow. A bit more under the bridge, a little more, I would say, overall in the water. Really I don't think I have to touch anything in the background at this point. Yeah, and then just bringing those subtle darks up and around all in here. Like, I mean, there's a lot of good subtle darks in here already. A lot of what I did brush work with the with slapping that paint on there is pretty good as it is. But yeah, I'm wow. This is this is the centerpiece for this show. No question. Probably leaning towards the $1,500 to $2,000 range on this, on price-wise for this one, and a lot of the other ones are a lot cheaper. But this is the centerpiece one for this show, and I think I'm happy not doing another one that's this big. I think just this one that's this big will work. Also, I don't think I'll actually have the time or patience to do another one this big before June. So at least not a splatter piece. I've got a couple of big canvases I definitely want to work with, but I'm really excited to go back to canvas after doing all these wood ones. Not that there's anything wrong with wood, but I've been working on wood at this point for so long that I really want to go back to working on canvas because I really much prefer to working on canvas. Anyway, so yeah, it's probably a little bit under the bridge here I can push in. Right now, I'm really just kind of looking at it. I'm like, okay, where do I really need that finesse? I don't want to go crazy with it. I don't want to detail everything because it would obviously cause some issues with focal points and layering and stuff like that. It still should look roughly, landscapey. But I feel really good about this. I'm working on this for, I guess, about a month. You guys, it's been in like 3 or 4 vlogs now, so. Yeah, it's pretty fun. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I might do a little more finessing and glazing tomorrow when I sign it, but I think I'm going to go ahead and call the vlog here, because at this point, this level of detail work really requires a lot more of my concentration, and I really would like to not have the video running in the background. So I'm going to work on that. Look forward to the finished version of this over on the Discord server. If you're not a member over there, go join. It's free. It's where I post the finished work, and yeah, I'm feeling good about this. First time in several pieces I've felt good about a piece, and again, piece this scale, this epic. I've actually got some like heavy epic orchestral music playing in the background too to really drive everything behind this piece. But yeah, I feel great about this. So. Sorry I haven't been getting the regular educational stuff out, but again, like this piece in the upcoming show in a couple months is really taking a lot of my extra mental bandwidth right now. So a lot of that's yeah, a lot of my videos are now just vlogs for the time being until I can really shift gears mentally. I'm sure I will have a day soon where I'll just record like five art videos, but it's not going to be today. So. Thanks, guys, for watching. Keep on creating. This has been Cinder Studios. Check me out on the socials, Discord, this thing, all the description box stuff. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. Let me know your thoughts on this piece, since you guys won't see this in a vlog again until maybe when I'm setting up for that show in June. So